All right, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming today to our Troubleshooting Technology in the Classroom Brown Bag Lunch and Learn. I'm Janet Vogel, I'm the Library Director, and I'm happy to have Marc Freeman, our Media Services Manager, with us today, going over many of the things that you might need to know in order to help you troubleshoot your technology woes in the classroom. So thank you so much. I'm going to turn it right on over to Marc.
Okay, thank you, Janet. Hello. I'm Marc Freeman. As you may know, I am a media service manager. I've been here with Higher College for 27 years. I've been doing all media work, not only for the 27 years I've been here, I would say 37 years in all, but if I also count my years in college, it also would be 41 years. So I know some of you are now wondering, how old are you? Oh, I don't know. You have to figure it out. Okay, so so we're doing this. I'm doing this troubleshooting technology in the classroom session, and in it, I'm going to focus on the troubleshooting some of the issues that we may have on campus, some of the basic troubleshooting needs. Since 2017, we upgraded all of our equipment for more of a smart classroom setting, and as you can see, we have different setups from slides here, and I picked different things. And although we have, it gives us a lot of improvements in the classroom, there are still some issues that we in media services will take care of if you contact us. But there's also some things that you can do if you're in a situation where something minor happens and you, rather than waiting for someone to come up, you can take care of it. Now, I will point out that in each classroom, we do have a sheet, a double light sheet that we leave in here, which details how to use the smart classroom. And there's a little sheet, a 2-page sheet here, but also a small basic troubleshooting tip sheet. And most of what I will cover is what is here. I'll go over some of the things here, and then I will also have one little bonus that is not covered here that I noticed that some on campus have had some inquiries about, and I'm going to work with. So I'm going to go just start right away and get to the first one. One of the first things that we get or calls about or issues is that there's no power to the touch screens, projectors, the large screen TVs. In other words, when you walk in a room, it appears nothing is working. So, the one thing you should do in a situation like that is to see if the power is functioning in the room. That's mean look around and see, because the first thing I get is, oh, the equipment's not working. Well, it's because it may not be any power in the room. Check the room. If you notice that nothing is working, contact ABM, which is physical plant. Look around to see if the power source is on the stations, and the stations is that whatever inside the little station in the room, like right here. If that button is on, check for any power strips that may be working, and also check to see if everything is plugged in. I've had situations where I've come in the room and one time I got scolded by an instructor about everything's not working and I have to have something to work for my class, and then I pointed to the outlet right in front of them and showed that the plug was out. It happened. Next. And this is an issue we sometimes will have. The touch screen is blank, so it's not able to respond. Well, the one thing that is what you should do is to try to do a manual reboot. And by that is you would go in the cabinet, you would go to the power switch, which has an on-off power, switch it off, give it about 30 seconds to an hour. 30 seconds did I say to 1 hour? In a minute. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. 1 minute. I was working kind of late on this, and it was really 10 to 30 seconds. It's like, no, don't wait an hour. Wait 1 minute. Fortunately, it's going to be on every other one, but you still park that. So give it a minute. Turn it on. Turn the switch on, and everything will start to boot up, you'll see that the touchscreen starts to boot. It takes some time. You'll see a little symbol that says Crestron on it, and then you'll see some symbols, and then it'll come up, and everything should work. Now, if it doesn't, and later I will get to you another way to deal with that if you're still having problems with the touchscreen. The next basic issue that we have, and that is the projector doesn't display when the touchscreen is activated or project distorted images. Now, one thing I should mention when this happens, because we get called about this, is that the lamp, not the bulb, which is what everyone says to me, in the projector is not blown out. I also want to point out that is a bulb, that is a lamp. A bulb is used in an overhead projector. This lamp is used in a projector. I get so many calls about the bulb has blown out. Well, of course, it blows out easily in a projector, but not there. The problem is usually associated with the fact that the system is out of sync because this processor is what controls everything. When you hit the touchscreen, it activates this, what's on this processor, and will send it to two signals. It will either send it to this part here on the projector, which turns the projector on, or this here, which is an HDMI cable that sends whatever you're sending to it so it appears on the screen. Now, if something's out of sync, it won't get to the projector, and that what causes the issue. Not always a bulb. So, there are two ways to deal with this. To reboot the touchscreen, that goes by you shut down the system. You go over on the touchscreen and you'll see that little area that says system shutdown. You'll get the little area that says, are you sure you want to shut down? You hit yes. Wait about 30 seconds to 1 minute. But also, when you're doing this, if the projector is running, make sure there's a light on here. When it's running, it's green, but when it is shutting down, it is an amber light that flashes. And you have to wait for that light to flash, that flashing light to go solid, because the projector needs to cool down. If you shut this down and start it up again, and that hasn't gone out, it will, the image won't come up, and then you'll have to wait again. So when that light is solid, you can then go back, hit the touchscreen, and activate it. And that should bring the images back up. The other thing you might have to do is what we call a manual reboot, which is if you're doing the entire system. And it's like what I said before. You shut the system down, you wait, make sure that the projector light is solid, switch the power switch on, and then when everything is running, that should make the image come on. Now, if you have a distorted image or the images doesn't look right, you can unplug the power cord on the back of the projector, which is listed over here. You know, I now wish I had read that about that hour mark, but
that was just a fun joke.
Wait again, then replug, put the plug back into the projector. Now, to get to the projector, it may need climbing a ladder or getting on a table. If you can't get a ladder or not comfortable with getting on a table, contact media services. Contact us, we'll go over and do this. But sometimes you have to unplug it to get everything to just boot up and run proper again, and that includes distorted images. Okay, another one. The projector doesn't display display whatever device we're using after selecting the option on the touchpad or touchpad or screen. Once again, it's not because a bulb or the lamp blew out. What you should do is make sure that whatever device you're using is securely connected to the cable, to whatever cable you're using. If it's a VGA, which not many people use now, or the HDMI, or even if you have to have an adapter on the HDMI, make sure that you have it as secure as possible. That's one. Also, make sure that whatever you're using, if you're using a desktop computer, using a laptop, using whether it's a PC or a Mac laptop, that you mirror or duplicate the presentation. That means whatever is on your device is then mirrored, which is what is used in Mac, or duplicated, which is as is mentioned, on a PC. And as I have here, it involves, like for PC, holding down those two keys. On the side of it, you'll see a little pop-up options that will give you several options. Select the duplicate, and then that should put both images on the screen. For Mac, you have to go into, if you go to the left-hand corner, you'll see an Apple icon, and you go down where it says either system preference or system settings, and then you will see another section that says display, and then you hit the text display. Sometimes it will say mirror, and you select that, and that will do the same thing. Now, in the case of an iPad, and it says see the slide following the next one, which means after the one I'm going to show next is the one that you will see. And another thing you can do is switch to another device option and then switch back. Like, let's say you are using this one here, but the HDMI is not coming on the screen. Sometimes you can switch to another one, then switch back, they'll come up. That's another thing. Also make sure that whatever device that you plug it into whatever the cable into your device before you select the option. Because it's already there. When you do it after, sometimes it's kind of hard sometimes for it to recognize. Okay, so then I mentioned the Apple TV, and it says Apple TV doesn't respond, or the AirPlay passcode doesn't appear on the screen. Well, okay, so you should look, and sometimes by opening the cabinet or lectern or the desk mount, whatever type of station you have, there's a section where you can see the Apple TV. You can tell if a blue light is on, that is active. If it's not, it's in the sleep mode, and that may be why nothing is coming up for you to select. And if there's a remote for the Apple TV in the room, you just press the menu button on that, and that should wake up the Apple TV. You can also do the same by, if you're in the Apple TV option, hitting these buttons over here.
I never noticed that replicates what's on an Apple TV remote.
What?
That the menu there is replicating that. I've never noticed that before.
Oh, but that one brings it up. So,
Yeah.
Or if you can somehow get, depending on the type of station you have, if you can get behind the Apple TV, you can always just unplug it and replug it, and that will wake that up. The light will come on, everything will come back on the screen, and then you can put in the passcode or what's needed. Okay, so then we get to issues as the audio sounds weird or distorted, and I will go, and I kind of didn't get into putting any photos for this because of what's going to show up on the next slide. The audio sounds weird or distorted, that's usually check the cables. There's a volume control also on the touchscreen that you can use to either like to see if you just need to turn it up, or you may have a no or low audio. And the reason, and the same thing, you can check the volume control, make sure that the device of option is selected, that you properly, and even if the image is on the screen, switch to a different option and switch back, as I mentioned before. Now, if you're using an HDMI connection, one thing you need to make sure is that when you, on your device, like a laptop, and I think I can do this here or not. I don't want to get out of this. But anyway, in the right-hand corner, there's a little speaker kind of icon. And if you press on that, it will tell you what type of speaker that you're using, your built-in speaker for your device. or whatever. It should mention, it should certainly come up that it says HDMI or whatever the name of the HDMI connection is. When that comes, that you need to select that and you'll get the sound, because there's times I'm not getting the sound, and then you go there, it comes up. I say, okay, select that HDMI option, sound comes through. And then also check the processor inside of the station and look for the button assigned to the device, and I'll explain what that means. Go. Now, the processor, and this also works in situations where the touchscreen is blank or you can't get it to work. You are able, as you can see, the processor has a section that says input. That means anything that's inputted. If you see a light on here, that means that it's a device that's plugged into that's plugged into the processor and active. And then by pressing the button, you will activate whatever you use. Like, let's say the Apple TV is on number 2, and you want to watch, you can just hit that, and you'll still get the image on the screen for the Apple TV. If you just want to use the plain HDMI, then you can press one of the buttons here. If the device is plugged into a VGA, you can press that here. Also, onto the side right here, there's a little dial here which actually controls the volume. And sometimes by turning that, you can increase the volume, or if the volume isn't working, that'll get that to work. So it looks like I'm went through a lot of our basic things. So as I said, there's a bonus time, and with that bonus time, I am going to let's see. So I'll come over here to do. Okay, that's what I wanted to do. And I'll come over here. One thing that we've gotten calls about is about the fact that people will try to do presentation, will go to like YouTube or a site and play a video, and may have problems with things like the sound, or the video may drop out, or it's slow because they're running it over the network while other people have their devices going, and that can slow it down. One suggestion is, if it's possible to download whatever your presentation is onto a desktop or onto, you can save it to a thumb drive, external drive, anything that will give you what I call a hard copy of that, or a copy that you have. Now keep in mind that for copyright reasons, keep in mind you're doing this for a class, and so you can do it for free use in that way. This is not to download and then show this like in public, if you can do a movie. Now, here, for example, for Firefox, and some of the other browsers, there are like extensions that you can use by, here, for example, for Firefox, I use one called YouTube Downloader, and it's an add-on that you can also see, which by adding this, anytime I go to YouTube, it will have this here. So for example, if I was teaching a class and I wanted to go back and show like this 1982 walk through the 20th century program by Bill Maher's, and I saw this because I actually saw this when I was in college, and I always liked this one. So I was glad that I could find it. I can go here. I can hit this download button here. You'll see what it says normal, which is, they'll give you some choices, but this one only gives you one. It may give you an HD choice or just a normal. I can then press that button. This will come up, and then we'll save it on it as an MP4, and I just hit save. So that will then be saved on the drive. Now, this is like the one that I prefer. There are other ones that you can use. This one can also be used on a Mac if you have Firefox. Unfortunately, Chrome does not allow any type of extensions from the Chrome store for YouTube. They won't let you download. Now, there are also video downloading software. I mean, not software extensions that you could use. I mean, you can use, and in fact, they do allow you to. They do have this particular extension. The name of the extension is YouTube Downloader on Chrome that you can use on other sites. You can go to another site that has a video and you could probably use it there. This is not, but if you're using YouTube, it specifically I'm pointing to that, but it will specifically have it there. And it also works on the Mac too, as I said. So that's right there. Okay, in fact, if I go over here, now I'm in Chrome. Oh, I forgot. That's not why I had Chrome for. Now, another way is, is a software I recommend that people would use, and it's called WR Recorder YT2, and it's and it allows you to record things not only from YouTube but other video sites as well. This company used to sell like software that recording software you had to purchase, but now they just give it out for free. So this is a free software. And the way that works is, and I have that here. No, here. I can do this, I can use this for either one. Now you see what popped up is the one, like here's like the link for the one from Chrome, because I tested this early. Because they have it set up where with Chrome, all you have to do is hit that. In Firefox, you have to copy the link and put it here. You can either give it a title, you can either select a folder you want to save it in. You go here where it says video, you can hit that, it's connecting. If it says okay, unable to request it. I did it earlier before we came in, so sometimes if you keep doing it, it'll, okay. But anyway, it does download. So, and I downloaded one earlier from there, or I can go over. So, but this is another this is like a piece of software, it's free. You could use, and it works with any browser. Unfortunately, it doesn't work with Macs because the Mac, I tried it, the Mac can't download like things. They don't have like a Mac version of it. But you can go to the app stores and find video downloading software. But I wanted to give a little demonstration on how that works. And I will then get out of here. And let's see if I can get back in here. So, as I said, my recommendations is the YouTube downloader for Firefox for PC and Mac. Software is WM Recorder YT2, and that's the link right here. Now, I also wanted to mention some other issues as we're ending this. If you're in a classroom and you're having problems with no images, like if you have a desktop monitor or any computer in the room, you're having problems with that, having problems not able to access the Wi-Fi, the Ethernet, or any computer-related issues, you can contact the IT help desk at that email address or at that number. Now, also, of course, all the things I've told you, except for the downloading thing, are temporary solutions. You shouldn't hesitate to contact Media Services. That's our email address. That's the number. You can also reach me at 569-5010 and at my email address. And also, you can also get information from our website, which I've been currently updating. And I will have a section that has resources, various resources you can download and you can read, including the manual that we never was able to put in classrooms, but we'll have a copy of that there. We'll have it in a PDF form so you can download it, and also some other materials there. Also, you can also contact us between these hours on Mondays and Fridays. So, are there any questions from anyone?
I have a question.
Yes.
So, when you said the projector, when it's off, the light's going to be solid. Is it going to be solid in that amber color?
Yes, when it's off, it's in the amber color, or it's just nothing, you won't see anything. If it's green, that means that it's operating. So when it turns on, it'll go from amber to green.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just that when you are shutting the system down, it goes to amber and it flashes. And when it's, in fact, if the whole flash is green when you turn it on, that means the projector's warming up. When it's solid, the image will be on the screen. And it's just reverse. It just makes sure that amber light is solid before you turn anything on again.
So thank you very much, Mark, for presenting for us today. Thank you very much to Mark for presenting for us today. I know I learned a couple of new things and I thought I was an expert, so I appreciate that tremendously, and I hope folks will watch. If you're watching online, we will have a link that I'll post along with the recording so you can fill out the survey. And thank you so much to Mark. Have a great day, everybody.
Yeah, have a great day, everyone.